So welcome back to the channel. Today we have a empty 2014-ish semi-detached property to do an EPC on. Got the new rdSAP10 site notes, so we're going to include extractor fans and glazing, etc. There's also what looks like a room and a roof up at the top, and if we walk around here we have a gap showing that it's semi-detached. To note that it's set back from the property next door, so there's a bit of a nib we have to take into account when we're doing the perimeter and the heat loss party wall. So outside we have the gas and electric meters. So this is a smart meter. I think you can press the 9 button, import kilowatts, export kilowatts. So this is a smart meter that's set up for export, one of the questions on rdSAP10. So here we have the gas meter, which is also a smart meter. The box which was put in by the house, you've got these grids here. You can work out the date, it gives you a good clue. But the previous EPC was issued 2014, and that was on construction EPC, so that's the build date. Hence why we're doing it again, because it's 2025 and the EPC is over 10 years old. There's an air vent here by the fibre optics going into the house, showing me that it's probably timber floor suspended or non-timber floor suspended. Draft proofing strips on the front door. Drop heel test showing that it's suspended non-timber. Consumer unit, doesn't look like there's any PV connected to the property because there's no isolation switches or generation meters. Double glazed units. Got a manufactured in 2014 there, according to publicly available standard 2012 past 2012. We have to measure the width and height of the window a little bit. .7 by 1.3, and I've taken a compass bearing, and this is facing east, and it's double glazed, at least 16mm 2014 glazing. Thermostatic radiator valves. LEDs. This is a Danfoss sensor TS2, which sends a wireless signal to the thermostat programmer, which controls the hot water and the temperature on the ground floor. Hot water storage vessel, factory fitted insulation, steel finish, 150 litres, and on there you can see 3 motorised valves. One for the ground floor circuit, one for the first floor circuit, and one for the hot water. It's pressurised as well, and there's the glands pushing the water down to give you high water pressure on the third and first floor. So the rear elevation, another Velux up there, stretcher bond, cavity wall, probably. Most likely not timber framed because the windows aren't that far set back, but we'll check when we look at the party wall and the right hand elevation when we go into the loft to check the loft insulation if there is one. 2 external vents on the rear elevation as well, one for the ground floor WC and one for the kitchen extractor, and then 2 more air vents for the suspended non-timber floor. As you note, the air vents are below the level of the floor. Where bulbs aren't present, I'm not counting them. I'm counting them as lone LED or compact fluorescent, not low energy lighting. This is a LED light bulb strip light in the kitchen. Let's go upstairs. So this room has a radiator with a thermostatic radiator valve, and this one does too, but it has a bulb missing, so that's not counted as a low energy lighting. And then in the bathroom, we have a mixer shower and bath, and another extractor. So first floor, front bedroom, a programmer and thermostat. Was that just a thermostat for time and, yeah, just a thermostat for time and temperature zone control. Taking note of the windows, measuring each one as we go. So 0.6 by 1, 0.6 by 1.1, and then up to the room and the roof. So this isn't the common wall because the house is a lot wider, so this should be hollow to tap, which it is, but no access hatches there. The height of that piece of wall is 1.4, so that's less than 1.8, so it's definitely a room in the roof. We have an access to the loft, so we should go up and check the thickness of that loft installation. Okay, that's the gable end, blockwork, and then that's the party wall, blockwork. So cavity wall, uninsulated. So in convention 2.24a, there's a handy flowchart to know how to describe the party wall. So these go down into the room and the roof, PIR board. Looks like Celotex, 100mm, and then the thickness at joists is over 300. It's over 350, it's 400mm. Let's get a better shot of that for the auditors. Yep, 400mm, nice and thick. Good overview of the loft. So these ladders is the ones I use. They're about £40. I'll put a link into what's in my bag into the description below. Just click on the description and then click on more, and then all the links should appear nicely. Also got the link in there for the laser measurer and my tape measures and etc. Pens and all the stuff that I use to do these EPCs. Shut the loft hatch the way I found it. One of these useful little keys. I've got a nicer one than that though. I'll leave that there. So these are my single sheet rdSAP10 site notes. So it's a house, semi-detached, rental, social, suburban, 6 habitable heated rooms with no extensions. And then I've counted the low energy lighting bulbs and how many of them are LEDs and how many of them are just missing. So none low energy lighting is counted as the ones that are missing. Compact fluorescent, none present. No conservatory and no heated basement. It's not a flat or a maisonette. There's no conservatory, and I haven't done an air pressure testing, but that might be interesting. I'll wait for the software to be released and then we'll think about that. I was looking at the prices of courses. They were about £1,700 with Elmhurst. So ventilation type, there's no forced extraction or air PIR or anything like that. So natural ventilation, no open chimneys, block chimneys, no open fireplaces, closed flues, solid fuel burners, open flues, extractor fans. But there were 2 extractor fans, passive air vents, flueless fires or aircon, 2 doors, no paperwork with them, so we don't know if they're insulated or not. 100% draft proofing, because all the double glazing has got draft proofing strips, and so is the front and back door. The build date of the property was 2014, and so was that for the age of the room within the roof. The wall type was cavity, because we checked the gable wall and the party wall, and that's all block work, so there's no timber in there. And the windows aren't that set back from the elevations, so we know it's not timber framed. The thickness was 330mm and the insulation was as built, and it's plasterboarded, so dry lined. The party wall, using the conventions, I think it's 2.24a. Yes, 2.24a. 1966 onward, blockwork present, unfilled cavity unless there is drill holes present within that. That will probably change with rdSAP10. So where do we get to? Party wall. So the floor type, because we saw the air vents below the floor line, and then we did a drop heel test to find out it wasn't a suspended non-timber, so it's a suspended timber. We found out it's suspended non-timber. Ground floor, insulation as built, and then the roof was pitched, insulation at joist at 400mm, and then room the roof just as built. We have no PV, mains gas, smart meter, single rate electric meter, smart meter as well with export capability. So because I scrolled through by pressing the 9 on that keypad, and then that showed me that it's possible to export electricity via PV using that meter. Gas central heating, oh, we haven't looked at that. So that was a Ideal Logic Heat 12. Here we go. And it's been condemned by the plumber that was here recently. So Logic Heat 12, and then underneath here we have the gas council number of 4139999, Logic Heat 12. So it's good to get the gas council number as well. And that's the programmer and room thermostat. So on here we've got 4139999. And time and temperature zone control, because there's a programmer, a stat in the kitchen and a sensor in the lounge. That was that Danfoss TS2. And then a programmer stat, which is actually just a room stat on the first floor in the front bedroom. So we have a weather compensator, fan, sealed and radiators. Actually, it's not time and temperature zone controlled because the room thermostat on the first floor isn't programmable. So it's a programmer with 2 room thermostats. Let's change that. There we go, changed. See, that's why I don't like to write up as I go, because these things come to you as you write up. Secondary heating, none. 1 shower and 1 bath, all in the same room, so 101. The main hot water comes from the gas central heating system, and it's a 150 litre tank, fitted with spray foam, factory fitted, 50mm, because it's finished in steel. And then here we have the parts where the windows are collected, because we haven't got any extensions, so they're all in the main part. First 4 were pointing east, the second 4 were pointing west. We have all the widths, we have all the heights, and then the types. So at the moment, because we're not using rdSAP10 yet on the software, it's just post 2002. But I've noted on here 2014, because things are coming in. Yeah, I think you can go post 2022 on the new software, but we'll wait for that to be released to see what happens there. And then the glazing gap is 16mm on all of them. They're all PVC, and they're all draft proofed, and none of them have shutters. So now we're on the floor plan. We have a width of 5.285 and then a depth of 9471. And then we've got that nib bit at the front which sticks out to 1.216. So times this by that, and that's your floor area here and here. And then the room heights, just measure your room heights from the floor to the ceiling on the ground and first floor. And then the heat loss perimeter, it's 5.285 times 2 plus 1.216, which gives us a heat loss perimeter of 32.20 meters. That's not correct. Is that? Let's just check it. No. So 5, add 5 is 10, 9.4 is 10, so 20, 21. So it's around about 21. So I've worked it out as 20. So I've added it all up and it's 21.26. 32 was way out. I don't know. I think I must have just added the party wall by accident when I was not concentrating. So the party wall is 9.471 minus 1.216, which gives us 8.2. And then we have the room, the roof. So the room and the roof is 5.269 times 4.638, which is 24.44. And there we go. Well, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out the description for useful links, including to these site notes that I have made available. Anyway, cheers, bye.